So, fellas, if you're tuning in, it's all good. I want to talk about the guys' trip. And the reason I want to talk about the guys' trip is because a guy's trip is necessary. It's very necessary. At least once a year. And if you want your wife to tune in on this, you can have her also tune in on this as well. But the guys' trip is necessary. Especially, this is what I look at my guys' trip as. I look at my guys' trip, this is my opinion. And I'm not saying you shouldn't be, but I look at it as a reward for being a good husband. A reward for being a good father. You know what I mean? So, I look at my guys' trip in that sense of rewarding myself every year for doing the things which I should do automatically, but I give myself a little extra incentives about my guys' trip, right? And so, like I said, you could take this trip once a year. This trip, the thing I like about the guys' trip is, right, is pretty much it's all on you, right? Like, so when you're ready to go out to eat, you don't gotta wait on nobody, right? You can eat whatever you want to eat, right? You can have fun. You can order whatever you want to order. You ain't gotta wait for the wifey to order her food. You ain't got no indecisiveness on where we gonna eat.
Is that bad?
Is that bad? Stay out the conversation. You ain't gotta worry about where we gonna eat at. The diet goes out the window. The diet goes out the window. And I like it because it's like, this is a time when you turn up with the fellas, right? You can go jet skiing for like hours. You know, things that we like to do. Go jet skiing, you know. Crack jokes on the fellas. You know how we do. You know, when you get back together with your homies and stuff. Crack jokes on each other. Make some laughs. Hanging out at the bar or the cigar lounge, right? Hanging out at the bar or the cigar lounge, chopping it up, talking about sports, hobbies, and stuff like that. At the same time, even though we enjoying ourselves and have a good time with the fellas, at the same time, you still want to hit the wifey up. You still want to speak to your kids, right? You still got to do that. But I like this because it's like the guys' trip is about, you know, doing adventurous stuff. You know what I'm saying? Doing adventurous stuff. You know, even athletic challenges. You have a little time to actually conversate about just like, you know, family functions. You know, what's going on. Actually, you can conversate about where's the next guys' trip. Also, this is a trip where you and your bros can keep each other on point about certain scenarios or different situations that's going on in your life. You know, you really can rap to it. You know, this is when you holler at your brother. You know, you say, hey, this was going on with me in life. You know, they might have a solution, or they might have actually, you know, some good advice, and you can take some good advice from them. Just really hanging and just really creating a brotherhood during this time of the guys' trip. You know what I mean? Like, you know, you could do something like take a party bus. Y'all can go sightseeing. And at the same time, even though you're having fun with the fellas and stuff, this is also a time to just really relax and reflect. You know what I'm saying? On what's your next chapter? What's your next journey? What's the next thing we about to do in life? You know what I mean? So it ain't all about just like partying. You know, because you can party with the fellas. You could turn up, you know what I mean? Fellas go get a VIP section with the fellas and, you know, turn up to some good music, drink, chill, you know? With the fellas, you know what I'm saying? Chill, have your little VIP section just kicking it, you know? And then also, you know, not on top of that, this is a time where, you know, you can start doing daily regimens that you can start putting yourself in the mood for, like starting your day with exercises or yoga or, just different, personal goals that you have in mind, you could take the time out to do stuff like, I say you could take the time out to go get you, a massage. If you're on a resort, go get you a massage, or a pedicure. Get them dogs worked on, you know what I'm saying? So when you come back home, the feet looking nice, you looking relaxed, refreshed, and ready to take on what's next with the family and wifey, you know what I mean? You want to do that because this guys trip is a time really for you to just, again, reflect, release, and just relax, chilling on your own mind, get your mind straight, from all the hustle and bustle. Maybe your job does stress you out. Maybe at the time, your job stress you out. This is a time for you to just breathe and let everything kind of go to the side and to the waistline and just really kick it with the fellas and the homies and just, reminisce, catch up. Catch up with the fellas, see what's going on, what's been going on with everybody's life. Everybody's been moving, everybody been doing stuff. People done moved to different states, just seeing how things are going far as, a community of brotherhood and friends, Guys trip is very much needed in your life, right? And I say this much needed because, like I said, as a man in your household, you deal with a lot of stress and a lot of pressure. So, this is that time where there's no pressure, there's no stress, you just hanging. Y'all either on a beach, you don't, I'm a beach person. I like the summer stuff. I like the jet skis, or if it's a winter guys trip, you can hit the slopes up in Colorado. You can go to Colorado and you can do the snowmobiles. I want to do the snowmobiles eventually because I like jet skis, so I know snowmobiles just gonna be just as fun. Doing snowmobiles with the fellas, just going out on the terrain, having fun. If you like dirt biking or ATVs or whatever, just opening it up, getting wild on the car or the bikes or whatever you want to do. And really just enjoying life. You know what I'm saying? Appreciating life to the fullest, with your homies, your comrades, your boys that you grew up with, or, some of the people that, like I said, some of the people that now have become your friend through this, through just everything you've been going through, your trials and tribulations. You got new friends as you go on in life. So this is a good thing to do. And, y'all creating a certain type of community where y'all do this. And y'all do this every year. You know what I mean? It don't got to be a certain time of the year, but you do this every year to actually just reflect, get up with your boys, hang out, crack jokes, have fun. Just, go back to your days of just really not not forgetting that you got a wife and kids at home or you got a wife at home, but just the days of where you kind of had time to yourself. Self-care. Right? Self-care. And you want, and when you go on these guys trip, right? I'm gonna put some rules out there. When you go on these guys trip, right? You don't want to be the guy. Every time your phone rings, you walking away. Right? You don't want to be that guy on the guys trip. Or you don't want to be that guy where your phone is constantly blowing up on the guys trip, right? Or you're playing the piano all day on the guys trip. See, these things you could have stayed at home for. You know what I'm saying? Fellas, we don't really care about all that, but at the mid-time of the trip, that right there, you gotta be like, hold up, bro. We on the guys trip. We here to have fun. We here to kick it, relax, and stuff like this. You over here phone boning and text messaging the whole time. You know what I'm saying? And this is the time, honestly, and you don't want it to be like your wife is calling you for everything. Right? You don't want it to be like, yo, your boy's like, dang, your wife can't do nothing at home without you. Like, she can't figure it out. And this is a time where, honestly, if she is blowing you up, this is the time where you tell wifey, hey babe, you got to figure this out. And I don't mean this in a bad way. You know what I'm saying? I don't mean it in a bad way, but you got to figure this out, you know what I'm saying, in a good way. You know what I mean? I'm trying to get some R&R, and this is the time that you're going to have to figure things out. Even when she does her girls trip, you don't want to be the husband calling her about everything like you lost in the wind, like you don't know how to operate the household when she's gone. You get what I'm saying? Like you can't control the kids when she's gone. No, that shouldn't be no issue. She should be actually enjoying her time with her girls and chilling like that. Vice versa for the dude. It shouldn't be like, I gotta call you because he's acting up and you need to talk to him. It shouldn't be like that. She should be able to hold it down with the kids, which we know she already probably do, but she be able to hold it down a little bit more with the kids when you're on your trip, hanging out with the fellas. Right? And when you tell her, like, look, babe, figured it out, and I'm not saying it in a mean way, the reason why you're doing this is because you're basically telling your wife that this is a trip for me to relax, release, feel good. But this is also a trip to give me time to actually miss you. You know? So I can come back and love you even stronger. You know, appreciate you. Value you more. You know what I mean? The things I take for granted. You know? So on your guys trip, it's also, you know, about there's some form of respect you gotta have. Well, it's a lot of form of respect you gotta have on a guy's trip. You know? And, you know, when she, you know, you'll value her a lot much more. You might even miss her cooking. You know, you might miss just kicking it with her. You know what I'm saying? Those are the things that, you know, that you want to actually appreciate when you're on your way back, when you're on your flight back from your guys trip. You should have the thought, as fellas, is like, man, I can't wait to get home. You shouldn't be dreading to go home. You know what I mean? You shouldn't be dreading to go home because you just have fun. You kicked it with the fellas. You shouldn't be dreading to go home. Shouldn't be no arguments. You should be like, man, I'm ready to go home, see my family. That's the whole point of this guy's trip, because you out there, you got time, and like I said, this is that conversation that you have with the wife. Like, look, I'm out here with the boys, kicking it. I don't want to be the man on the phone all the time with my wife while I'm out here with this supposed to be the guy's trip. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be the dude that they figure like your wife don't know how to do nothing at home without you. You get what I'm saying? You don't want to be that dude. You don't want to be that dude where, so you have that conversation before you even go on the guy's trip. Now, you know, women will throw a little curveball in there every now and then just to test you while you're on your guy's trip, guys. She will throw that curveball just to test when you're on that guy's trip. And it might go a little something like this. She'll be like,
Who is she?
your wife will be like this. She'll be like, you go have fun on your guy's trip. I'm not even going to call you. I'm not even going to call you because I want you to enjoy a good time. See, that's the setup. See, when she say, I'm not even going to call you, that means she is expecting you to call her. Right?
You think you got it?
She is expecting you to call her. So what I'm telling you guys, when she say, I'm not even going to call you, don't go MIA. Do not go MIA. You at least, at the minimum, while you're on a guy's trip, should hit your wife up at least 3 times a day. At the minimum. You know what I'm saying? At least 3 times a day. Right? So, and so when you hit her up those 3 times a day, now these ain't those 3 times a day where I'm going to be on the phone with you for 2 hours, you know, and we talk about everything in the household and no. Now, I might hit you up in the morning and I say, hey babe, how you doing? How your night went? She might say good, blah, 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 blah. I'd be like, hey babe, so me and the fellas, we gonna do da today. You know what I'm saying? And she might say, oh, that sounds interesting, da da da. So then that's when you hit her with, if you got kids in the house, I know you okay. You say you was okay when I talked to you, but how the kids doing? See that right there? She could say, well, you know, they acted up a little bit last night, or you know, they not listening to me. You know, that's when you can get them on the phone right there. See, you already get them on the phone early in the day because you ain't gonna talk to them no more. You're not gonna be disciplining no kids the rest of your day on your guys trip. So you set it up in the mornings. You say, all right, you know what? Let me talk to him right now. Be like, look, if I hear another word about y'all acting up, mommy calling me, and the next time I call her, if I hear anything about y'all acting up, y'all already know what it is when I get home. Everything getting shut down. See, you set those things up so then you ain't got to hear the call during midday while your boys on the jet skis, y'all on the jet skis having fun, music blasting, you know what I'm saying? Then you get a call, oh, he acting up. That right there is going to be a whole hour conversation. No. See, so you had that long conversation in the morning, you know, before you get your day started, while you getting fresh, getting good, you know, you go ahead and have that conversation early in the morning to avoid all these hiccups throughout the day. That's what you want to do, fellas, on your guys trip, you know, because you don't want to be interrupted while you watching the game, or, you know, while you guys out there, y'all might be out there playing basketball, you know, y'all could play beach football, you know, or volleyball, if that, or go-kart racing, or y'all might be at the gun range, you know, different types of stuff that, you know, you want to do on your guys trip, because you don't want to have a boring guys trip. You don't want to be the guys trip that just every night, oh, we want to go to the club or whatever. Nah, that's, you know, maybe a couple nights, that's it. But after that, y'all want to really have a lot of other stuff, activities going on throughout the day, you know, to fill your day up, to really have a good time with the fellas, you know what I'm saying? And then, you know, have that brotherhood where eventually conversations will start to actually come about, you know, about different situations, maybe at the home front. And now you with your brothers or whatever that you feel comfortable about talking to them about a certain situation that you might be going through, or something at the house, or something they might be going through. You might can help them as well and give them some good advice on just how to handle certain situations, you know. You know, I don't want you on here to think the guys trip is all about the turn up and just, you know, wilding out, you know what I'm saying? We ain't setting up like side chick money to go see the side chick. You know what I'm saying? We tell her it's the guys trip, but it's the side chick trip, you know what I'm saying? And you setting that up. You know, you don't want to do all that, you know, because, you know, now you put in your other fellas' relationships in jeopardy as well. Remember that now when you're on this guy's trip, you know, because you know how if something goes down, you don't want to be the one involved with any of it. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to be involved. You don't want to, I see nothing, I hear nothing. You know what I'm saying? You want to be that, you know. We all was supposed to be together. I don't know where they went. You know what I'm saying? Where his wife is blowing up your phone like, hey, have you talked to Robert all day? Is he with y'all? You don't want that. You looking at the number like, who is this calling me from this number? You don't even recognize them. Hello? Yeah, this is Nadine. Is Robert there? What the heck? Why you ain't call his phone? I have been calling his phone. See now? We done got everybody in trouble. Everybody in trouble. See, cause now everybody's in trouble. You know what I mean? Cause she done called one of the fellas' phone because he didn't follow the protocols of the guys trip. He didn't call. He been MIA. He just out there butt naked like he ain't got nobody. You know what I'm saying? And now we done got in trouble because of him. You know what I'm saying? We can't have that guy. We can't have that guy on the guys trip because, you know what I'm saying? We done got in trouble because of him. And that everybody whole vacation then got messed up. And now the wives back at home having a cupcake meeting on what the hell's going on, where the hell we at. You know what I'm saying? We don't need that. So, you know, these are things that I like to tell you when you do your guys trip and you hang out with your guys. I've been doing guys trip for a while, man. I started my guys trip like really in 2006. And it's every year is something different. It's funny. It's fun. It's an enjoyable time. You ain't got to go out there and be no male gigolo. You know what I'm saying? You can still have fun just kicking it with the peoples, hanging out with your boys and stuff like that. And even also the guys trip change. It might not be the same guys that you went on the trip with a couple years back, you know. It might be some new guys. You know, your circle of friends done changed up, you know what I'm saying? So, therefore, the people that's on the trip is going to be a different group of guys, you know, as well. But you still want them to understand where you're coming from on this trip, you know, just to really enjoy yourself and have fun, you know, to get away from the family, not in a bad way, but in a good way, you know, so you can actually come back and bring a lot more value to the relationship of the household, you know, because I understand us as men, we deal with a lot of pressure, you know. Can you close the door? We deal with a lot of pressure. We deal with a lot of stuff that we go through on a day-to-day basis. And this is something that we need in our life just to have, you know. And like I said, this is a time where you can actually read and you can start, you know, stimulating your mind, you know, stimulate your mind by reading a good book, getting on a good track, you know. Like I said, this is a new chapter. You can actually refresh your goals. You actually can have goals with the guys. If y'all have a group goal, you know, if it's a group goal of working out or, you know, or like, hey, guys, I want to, you know, we should hit like a football game in the near future or a baseball game or something like that, you know, so we all can, cause you know, we vibing, you know, we should hit something like a sporting event or just hang out, you know, and then you could talk about just different stuff like, even though you have a guys trip, this is when you got to bring some type of community and, you know, you can bring your families together. Y'all might have a cookout during the summer, you know, or something like that. Go to the cabin with the family, you know, because a guys trip can eventually turn into a /family trip later on. You know, you still keep your guys trip, but you can actually evolve a family trip. Like, you know, yeah, so what y'all guys doing in like October? Well, you know, we going to the mountains in Colorado, we getting a cabinet. And like, man, my kids always wanted to go out there. They ski and stuff. I really don't know about it. Yeah, so we stay in this part of Colorado, and we like to take the kids. They can go skiing. They can get on the bunny slopes and stuff like that. Hey, man, you mind if, you know, my family, you know, we come out that way and we link up? Cool. You know, you link up with the family. Your kids playing with your homeboys' kids and stuff like that. And then now everything starts to evolve into a good community of marriages and stuff that, you know, people are working together to keep things in a positive aspect of life and everything that's going on around you. Because like I said, a lot of things that go on around us really distract us from a lot of the main focus of just building community in this time that we in. Because that's where we at right now. That's the stage that's the point of life where we at right now. Because a lot of people, I'm noticing, need some type of community and some type of foundation for them to actually grow and prosper. Because you can't do this by yourself, you know. And that's why, like, before I keep explaining that, me and my wife, we want to actually help a community of just marriages just by talking about different stuff and trials and tribulation that our relationship go through. And, you know, kind of relate on a whole level scale with everybody else, you know, these are conversations that are not being talked about, you know, and I don't want it to be a conversation where it's a work conversation. It's more of a conversation where it's more intimate conversation about real deal situation that's going on in your relationship, you know. So that's what I really love about what me and my wife are doing right now and stuff, because you got to have the guys trip. And if you haven't planned a guys trip, plan one. It's not hard. It's not hard at all. It's 2 things that you must do to plan a guys trip. We ain't gotta make it that difficult, because guys are like, I ain't never planned a trip. My wife always planned a trip. I don't know what to do with it. No, all you gotta do is find you a nice hotel or a nice resort and get you a plane ticket. And friends. That's it. Hotel, plane tickets, and friends. We'll figure everything out once we get there. Right? Because you know, we don't, us fellas, we don't stick to no schedule. Especially when we out there with all the other bros. It's no such thing as a schedule. It's hey, you hungry? Yeah, we're going to eat at 6 o'clock. I'm hungry now. Well, go get you something to eat. You know what I'm saying? All right, that's how it's going to go down, you know? Hey, well, are we going to go hang out, you know, at the cigar lounge? Yeah, we all about to mob to the cigar lounge. We're going to be there at 8 o'clock. Now, that might be scheduled, but you get there when you get there. You know what I'm saying? So, different little things. And look, these guys should really turn out to being a fun trip, you know. It's kind of like, it's like the movie Hangover in a sense, but not too extreme. You know what I mean? It's like the movie Hangover to a sense. It's kind of like getting with your college buddies. And you know how y'all used to hang out back in college and trip out and wild out, man, and just having a good time, you know. That's what I like about the guys trip, you know. And I try to tell a lot of people that that do get married that, you know, you need that time away from your spouse. You need that time away from her. Because it's not saying that you don't love your wife, and it's not saying that you don't mind being around her all the time, but you also got to let it breathe. You know what I'm saying?
Let what breathe?
You got to let it breathe. You got to give that time to breathe, because now, like I said, it'll make you appreciate and value everything a lot more later down the road. And then you actually could see the woman that you got. And you don't, now she's turning into a more trustworthy woman that you want, you know. Now she's building the trust in you. She's like, oh, he, you know, she talking to her girlfriends. Yeah, he on this guy's trip, hanging out with the fellas. You know, they having fun, I guess, you know, and stuff. So now she's having that conversation with other females that might be married. And they might be like, my husband need a guy's trip. He need to find some guys to go on a trip and to, like, because he kind of done lost it. You know, that's another thing. He might have lost his swag, or he just done got boring at the house. All he do is sit at home and watch TV, you know, and this guy's trip will make him more active. You know, instead of just sitting at home watching sports all day, at least he's out active talking about sports instead of being a couch potato. You know what I mean? And you know, when the wife gets just like, yeah, look, when my husband go on his guy's trip and he hang out with the fellas, you know, we talk. I ask him what they doing, how they having fun, and what they got planned and stuff like that. Where they went to eat at, and then she might tell you, girl, when he come back home, it's like, I don't know, like I'm the new girlfriend or something. Like he acts totally different. Like when he comes back home, I know he missed me. Put it that way. I know he missed me. The way he act when he come back, I know he missed me. Cause for one, he ain't got none. So, you know, he should be fully charged up. You know what I'm saying? You should be fully charged up, right? So when you come back home, you already know what it is. You know what I'm saying? Because guess what? When you come back home, wifey gonna already, if everything went smooth and Danny on your trip, when she pick you up from the airport or when you get home, she gonna have everything laid out. Laid out. You know what I'm saying? You gonna think you on your honeymoon all over again. You gonna think you're on your honeymoon all over again because everything went smooth. You communicated with her. You talked. You had fun with the fellas and stuff like that. You know, talked about the little funny things that might have happened on the trip. You know what I mean? You come back home, and she's gonna make sure. If you got kids, she gonna make sure they probably already in bed by the time you get home, or everything is set up. She might even set it up to the point where the kids are going to the grandma house the day you get back in town, or they going to the in-laws or the brothers or the aunties or the uncles. They going over there because you coming home that night, right? Now she want her time because you done had your time. You done relaxed. You done did your thing. Now she want her time with you. And that right there is just going to set your relationship on a whole nother level. That's going to set y'all relationship on fire. She might even say, hell, he might need to do more often. These guys tripped the way he came back, you know. She might do something like that. He might need to do this a lot more. He might need these twice a year. He might need a summer and a winter one. You know what I mean? So, and same thing, guys. Tell your wife. Go have a girls trip. Go on a cruise with your girls. Guys trip can be on a cruise too, but you know, you can tell her, hey, go on a cruise. You know, go with your girls. Y'all have a good time. Enjoy yourself. You know what I mean? And use the same thing she said. Hey, you know what? I'm not even going to hit you up. But guarantee you she going to hit you up, though. You know, now you want her to hit you up, but you don't want her to hit you up as much when she on her girls trip. And he's like, baby, you know you on a trip, right? You've been talking to me the whole time. I hope your friends ain't feeling some type of way. You know what I mean? About you being on the phone with me. It's cool and everything, but I want you to enjoy yourself. Because vice versa. When she come home from the girls trip, you want her to feel like she missed you. Like she been in a cold bed the whole time she been on her girls trip. And she want that man to come, you know, cuddle up to now. You know what I'm saying? She ain't had nobody to hold on to the last few days while she was, you know, out there. And so she want to be the one to come home and be able to, you know, cuddle with you. And y'all can just, you know, enjoy each other. So these are why, this is why guys trip and girls trips are very important in a relationship, right? It's very important because you guys need time to just, and it's not no separation, it's not no breakup, it's not no, because we stressed out or we been going at it. It's not that, because see, that's when you don't want to do a guy's trip, or that's when, because you go on a guy's trip when y'all having conflict issues. It's either going to carry over to the guy's trip, or either one of y'all are going to make a mistake that don't need to take place because you didn't resolve the issue before you left. You know what I'm saying? And now everything is played out on your emotions and how you feeling, and she done made you mad, and you know this happened in the past, so hell, I got a free pass now. I'm on my trip, I'm about to wow. She got the wow, you know. That's how things, that's when you do not want her or you to take a guy's or a girl's trip. You know what I'm saying? When things ain't right, no. Right? You want to make sure everything's right. And even leading up to the trip, fellas, you want to pick your battles. Right? You don't want to argue about something that's going to really make her mad before you leave. You want to pick your battles about it. And she might bug you a little bit, like, oh, you about to go on your guy's trip, so you acting a certain way now, huh? See, you don't want none of that. You don't want none of that issue. You don't want none of that drama. You want her to be like, you know what, you about to go on your guys trip, you know. She might say, hey babe, you know, hey, I know y'all going to the beach. I bought you these slippers. I bought you these new sandals. They might look nice on you out there. You know what I mean? Take me a picture. Take me a picture while you out on the beach with the fellas. You know what I'm saying? Send me a nice pic while you out there. You know? You could send her one of the, you know, the door knocker pictures. You know what I mean? You know what pictures I'm talking about. You can send her one of those and she be ready. You know? Juiced up. And vice versa. While your wife's on a girls trip, like, hey baby, send me a picture of you in that, you know, in that. Now see me, I got stipulations on certain type of bikini she could take on her girls trip. I'm just sorry. That's just me. She can't wear it's only certain bikinis that she can wear, you know, without me not being present. You know what I mean? I'm like, look, she want to go through my clothes. I'm like, nope. I throw that to the side. Nope. That's for our trip. Right? You gotta look at that, you know, because she's a beach girl. So I like, you're not about to be wearing that out there with you. I don't care how many girlfriends you got out there. You know, I know how y'all are. Y'all like a whole little sorority. Y'all keep y'all secrets. Good, he let you wear that out here? Nah, but I brought it anyway. No, hell no. You know what I'm saying? That's not going down. So, and the same thing. She might go through your little wardrobe. Because, look, she going to check your luggage before you leave. You might have thought, oh, I already got my stuff in the trunk. No, she going to check it. She going to find a way to check it. So, just make sure you got some appropriate outfits and wardrobes that, you know, is approving to a certain extent. That's not disrespectful. You know what I mean? And you want to keep it, you know, professional and clean, guys. So that's all I really wanted to talk to you guys about the guys trip. You know what I mean? Just let you know that it is necessary in your relationship, and you must do it at least once a year, if not once a year, once every other year. But get you some fellas that are cool, that, you know, actually some married fellas. That's another thing that help you out. Go on the guys trip with other married fellas, you know, because you know you come across a single one. You know, you might have one single one and it ain't bad, but if you the only married one, that's gonna be an issue, bro. I'm gonna tell you right now, that's gonna be an issue. You the only married one and you with the whole single crew. And yeah, I know you can resist temptations, but the way they acting, you know how it goes, you know, kind of might rub off a little bit. So, you make sure you want to go with some other brothers that are married, you know, and that will keep you at bay and keep you away from, you know, playing too hard. You know what I'm saying? Keep you away from that situation. And vice versa. You don't want your wife going out there with a whole bunch of single women and then, you know, she feeling peer pressure. You know what I'm saying? And stuff like that. You want her to be with a whole a group of married women, you know. And like I said, you might have that one dude that's not married, or he might have just came out of divorce, and there's nothing wrong with that, you know, or you know, and you're living through him on the trip. Now that's not a bad thing, but you're not gonna give him like super duper advice. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you see that one over there? Bro, you go in and look. You know what I'm saying? You don't let him make his own choice. You know, he gotta pick his own poison, whatever. You ain't gonna be involved in that. You don't wanna be involved in that. You know what I mean? Cause then he could come back and be like, man, that girl you told me to hook, man, that girl crazy. Man, you got me with this crazy little woman and stuff like that. So you don't want to be a devil's advocate. You know what I mean? Basically. So, I'm glad everybody that got on my call today. I'm glad today was Men's Monday. I wanted to talk about the guys trip because my wife had went over the girls trip and how the girls trip go down. And if you got your wife and she needs to get a little bit of, you know, refresher on the girls trip, she can always watch on my wife's page. She got girls trip, her conversation. But But I wanted to go over the fellas because we never really went over the fellas on how we should handle and have fun on our guys trip. You know, like I said, it's about just brotherhood, communicating, you know, talking about life goals, talking about family function, reflecting, relaxing, exercising, self-care, enjoying life, doing the things that you want to do, not in a bad way, in a good way, as far as just living life. You know, if you want to jet ski for 2 hours, because you know, if we decide I want to go jet skiing for 2 hours and the wifey's not there, it's all cool. You know what I'm saying? We go jet ski, we go out there racing on the jet skis and stuff, because she not going to want to be on the jet skis for hours at a time like that. Or, you know, the stuff we like to do. The stuff we like to do, you know, stuff fellas, you know, we like to do. We might, you know, some of us might like hiking, fishing, you know what I'm saying? Sitting at the lake. It ain't always got to be at a beach. It ain't always got to be at a mountain. It could be at a lake, you know. Y'all bros out there, deep, hey, what is it called? Deep sea fish diving. Fishing and all that. You know, get you a nice little yacht. Go out to the Gulf with the fellas and catch you some fish. Eat good when you come back and everything like that. Crack it. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about. But again, thanks you guys for tuning in. Remember, go to our web page. It's direct.me/Barker Worldwide. You can check out all the information on there. We got our classes. We got all information YouTube. Also, this is also a YouTube recording too, so you can also like and subscribe to this as well. And we'll be coming up with more footages. More videos and stuff as we go along on our journey. Tomorrow is Tuesday, so Wednesday, tune in for me and my wife marriage talk, and we're doing the last letter in the word porn that we got. Our marriage porn is N for navigate. Again, marriage porn. P stands for pure, O stands for open, R stands for renew. And tomorrow, last session we're doing on that is going to be navigate, right? And that one right there is going to be good. Also, that's on Wednesday. That's on Wednesday. And then on Thursday, I'm not sure what my wife is going to be talking about ladies' night. Fellas, get your wife in to tune in on ladies' night. It's a good conversation, man. She has a great audience. Everybody gets on. They really talk back and chime back with her. And fellas, if you on this too, on this call, feel free at any time to leave a comment, chat back, let me know any situations that you come across, like, you know, what is this going down, or what is that while I'm actually talking. I'll actually respond to your questions or whatever. Remember, this is for the fellas. This is Men's Monday, you know what I mean? I know some of the women tune in to get a little bit of sauce, you know, and just see what we talking about, see what the fellas talk about. But, you know, it's all good because it's creative sauce, you know, something that they can use to actually, if their husband not tuning in, something they can go tell them, say, hey, man, I was watching, you know, Brandon, he was actually talking about it. How do you feel about it? You know, it's an icebreaker as well for those different subjects or situations that we don't want to bring up, or, you know, use us as an icebreaker, you know, to have a deep conversation with your spouse. But again, I don't want to keep you guys too late. Go on our YouTube, Barker Family. That's our YouTube channel. We got a lot of YouTube content up, and we'll be posting this, and y'all see the repost later. Thank y'all. Y'all have a good night. God bless. And hey, the start of the week, let's get it, guys. Get to the end right there. Let's go. Peace out.